Believe it or not, since 1982, when Friday the 13th Part 3 3D came out in theaters, it has been unavailable in a true 3D format, other than maybe some bootleg copies from maybe some video discs or whatever underground source there may have been. But you can only get it in anaglyph, which is the red and blue or red and cyan type colors, and it's all mixed together in one analogous frame. Now in the early 2000s there was a guy online that took an anaglyph version of Friday the 13th 3D and he de-anaglyphed it. So let's say the anaglyph version contained the left side, and then he would take the right side of the movie wherever he found it. Now there were rumors that if you took one disc from one collection and matched it up with a disc from another collection, you could have the right and left, and you could somehow squish them together and make it side by side. Now I don't know, I think those rumors were totally false, because why would he take all that time trying to de-anaglyph the one side and match it with the other? In fact, he said that the 2D version that he had was actually a different time. It was a different cut of the movie, so he actually had to painstakingly match it up with the other one. So he had a shorter one here and a longer one there and had to match them up. So I don't think that rumor was true at all. Anyway, he would de-anaglyph it and then he would put them together, but unfortunately the format was field sequential, so it was all interlaced like that. And back then maybe it wasn't so much of a problem. Yeah, you lost a little bit of resolution, that kind of thing. However, these days, how are you going to play a field sequential thing? I mean, I have a player that might be able to do it on the computer, but it's just a mess. So there was no true 3D version of Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D, at least not legally available to the public.
You guys are getting boring, you know that?
Of course, that was until 2020, when Shout Factory introduced a definitive collection, or whatever you want to call it. It was the complete collection of Friday the 13th, and it indeed included a true Blu-ray 3D Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D.
You might like it.
So why did it take so long for it to be in a true 3D format, in a 3D Blu-ray that we could all watch? Well, it seems strange because it was the highest grossing 3D movie of all time in 1982. Now, I don't know whether Avatar has surpassed it in the highest grossing. I'm sure it probably did. I mean, it's just inflation and all that kind of stuff, and Avatar was huge. The success and popularity of Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D, I keep saying that because that's the whole title, was to the extent that other companies started making 3D movies. It was almost like a renaissance of 3D because of Friday the 13th's success. And they had movies in the late 70s that were coming out in 3D, but it was this movie that started out. Movies like Coming At Ya came out, and Jaws 3D, and it was just, it kept going and going and going in the 80s for a while there. So it seems strange that the studio wouldn't release a 3D Blu-ray, but I guess it would cost too much money, and it has a very niche, very small amount of people that would actually buy it.
Uh-oh.
Now, there is another possibility. There could have been damage to the prints, one side or the other. That happens a lot to a lot of 3D movies. Either they don't match up well, there's damage, like I said, or there's missing parts, so you can't have a full 3D movie. In the case of Hondo, they don't have all the parts to that. And that seems plausible on the surface, but considering that the studio does have both parts to be able to make an anaglyph version of the movie, then it kind of falls apart pretty quickly. Obviously, they have both sides of the movie, so I don't know why they didn't release it right away. Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D isn't the best movie, but it does mark the first appearance of the trademark Jason hockey mask. So in this movie, this is where it all started, and it has never left the franchise. If you're looking to get Friday the 13th 3D Blu-ray and you don't want to buy the full collection, I'd suggest eBay. People sell just the 3D Blu-ray on its own. However, if you see something about title errors, be aware that the titles may not pop out of the screen correctly. If you just want to see the film in true 3D and don't care about the title error, you might be able to get the disc cheap, or cheaper. If you want the full, in the theater, in 1982 experience, then buy a time machine. Or look for a fixed version of the disc. Shout Factory offered replacement discs for owners of the complete collection. These discs have full 3D, off-the-screen titles, just as they were intended. Apparently, Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D grossed more than a little movie called E.T. I only saw it about 10 times when I was a kid. And I had been told in the past that E.T. had beat Star Wars at how much the box office take was. And before that, Star Wars had beat Gone with the Wind. And Gone with the Wind stayed, or maybe Star Wars never beat Gone with the Wind and then E.T. beat Gone with the Wind. I don't know, but it's my faulty recollection of a little kid. I don't know, but that's what I was told, is that some of these movies were just, they would hold on to the box office record for a long, long time. And apparently Friday the 13th beat out E.T. It is incredibly weird to think that that happened.
What's going on here?
No, you tell me, they're your friends.